What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to cover a project that I've been meaning to cover for a really long time. I know it's going to seem oddly convenient that this is the time I choose to cover it after all of the news and the pump in the price, but I do want to promise that it was on my list. I just kept putting it off. This is not a sponsored video. I'm receiving no reimbursement for it. Just genuinely interested in the project, wanted to learn more about it, figured a review video would be the great way to do that. My usual disclaimer is I am not a financial advisor and this is not financial advice. Let's get started. What is the Enjin project? Well, the company itself was founded in 2009 and it's based in Singapore. At first glance, Enjin is an information technology company who have multiple products out on the market right now. Those being the Enjin Network, the Enjin Wallet, which is on iOS and Android, Enjin X, which is their blockchain explorer, Efinity, which is their upcoming game channel network for high-performing, scalable gaming transactions, and then Enjin Coin, which is obviously their token. To fully understand the crypto project, we need to first learn about the existing Enjin business. Enjin provides community management service platforms for gamers, developers, and other people on that platform. Enjin allows users to build websites, forums, stores, and many other modules, including in-game plugins. Prior to their ICO, they already had 18 million registered users on their platform and were supporting 250,000 communities. The project itself was already netting millions of dollars in revenue per month in virtual goods sales across the Enjin community stores. The most popular game on the Enjin platform by far was Minecraft, or is Minecraft, which is not a very small game. I think most people have heard of it. Many Minecraft communities are hosted on Enjin, and the largest ones having over 1 million registered users. Now onto the coin. Their goal is to produce a platform on which developers, community members, and players will be able to freely transact in digital goods and services related to interests that they are already engaged in on the platform. Imagine being able to actually own your own assets in-game, or being able to level up a character that you're playing as in multiple different games. This is what Enjin has set out to support. Their first target market is a global community of players who've already been spending money on the game. Presumably, they're going to be very excited about the idea of being able to actually own their own in-game belongings, and this will be made possible through the Enjin app. Next, let's get acquainted with the team. Maxim Blagov, I'm probably going to butcher that. He's the CEO and the creative director and co-founder of Enjin. Maxim has 15 years of experience in creative direction, project management, and design. He's also been a part of the Enjin project for nearly 10 years. Another name that I apologize in advance for butchering, Wojtek Radomowski, is the CTO and co-founder of Enjin. Wojtek has overseen technical engineering for Enjin for nearly a decade, and he champions best practices in software design, security, and testing. Although their ICO was quite a long time ago, I'd still like to cover it because it's always a segment that I do in my review videos, so I'm going to include it nonetheless. Their ICO started with a pre-sale from August 28th to September 28th, and then their public sale went from October 3rd of 2017 to October 31st of 2017. They raised about 23 million of their projected 25 million during their ICO, and each token was valued at 3 cents. Of the 1 billion Enjin tokens available, 40% were sold during the pre-sale, and another 40% were sold during the public sale. Of the rest of the tokens that were not sold in the ICO, 10% went to the core development team and the advisors, and then the last 10% went to strategic partnerships, Enjin communities, marketing, and so on. The token runs on the Ethereum network, making it an ERC20 token. Further down the rabbit hole of the project itself, the purpose of the coin, Enjin Coin, gives creators a way to mint crypto-backed virtual items that exist on the blockchain. It benefits gamers by giving them full ownership over all of their items. Instead of the items only being available inside one game, they can then be traded outside of the game, displayed on websites, or even be used across multiple game servers. Players will be able to purchase items or even start subscriptions seamlessly from inside games. Custom coins and collectibles can also be minted as well. Each item will have data attached to it in its own format so that it's possible to store info like stats and everything else inside the item definition. What are some aspects of the project? Well, the first is the Enjin Wallet, which I mentioned before. This is a wallet that's designed to be simple and fast and to allow for cryptocurrency management. I personally use the wallet. I love it. I have a few hardware wallets that I own that I keep different amounts of crypto on them, so I actually used the private key on one of them and backed it up to the Enjin Wallet. So now I have a functioning hardware wallet that has ability to send and receive directly from my app on my phone, which is super easy. I would suggest doing something like that. Don't use the normal hardware wallet that you put everything in because that's just very high risk. But if you have something small, you can attach it to that and use it kind of like as a working wallet. The wallet currently supports all ERC20 token variations like ERC20, ERC721, and ERC1155 tokens, as well as Bitcoin. And the team will continue to add support for other altcoins too. I just mentioned the ERC1155 tokens, and you've probably heard of the ERC20s, but you may not know what the latter is. I actually didn't. I had to do research for this video, so I'm going to define it pretty quickly. All right, so full disclosure, my computer just fell over in the middle of me recording. I have a light up here, and it fell, and it had the camera cord wrapped around it, and it pulled the computer. So if the white balance changes or the whole kind of tone of the video changes after this, I apologize. I had to stop recording, re-record, and so now we're just gonna pick up from where I left off and pretend this never happened. So yeah, I was defining what the different ERC20 tokens are. So ERC20 is just the standard applied to the creation of smart contract tokens on the Ethereum blockchain. There's a list of rules that the tokens must conform to, similar to how credit cards are made in a standard format fashion with like the way the numbers are, the CVC on the back. The ERC20 standard is similar, but for tokens on the Ethereum blockchain. ERC721 is an open standard that describes how to build non-fungible or unique tokens on the Ethereum blockchain. While most tokens are fungible, meaning every token is the same as every other token, like every US dollar is the same as every other US dollar, ERC721 tokens are all unique. Think of them as like rare, one-of-a-kind collectibles. This token requires a separate contract for each individual token during creation. ERC1155. This is a new approach to defining tokens. Items are now stored in a single contract with the minimum possible amount of data needed to distinguish the token from the other ones. The contract state contains configuration data for every token and how they all behave governing that collection. The motivation behind the ERC 1155 was that the ERC20 and the ERC 721 require separate contracts for non-fungible tokens. This is different because it only requires one contract for a multitude of tokens. Next is Enjin Beam. Enjin states that this is the world's first QR airdrop system. It allows you to scan a QR code that's going to trigger an airdrop of one or multiple items to people. So you can use this for giveaways, you can use this for marketing, basically whatever cool aspect you can think to use this for, you can use it for. The Enjin Mint shop. It's a really neat addition as well. It allows everyone to create tokens on the Enjin platform, whether you want it to be a mass run of something or a small batch of collectibles. Altcoin Buzz and I actually work together, and I have a batch made up of CryptoCandor collectibles. So the first 5 people to leave their Enjin Wallet addresses down below in the comments will each get one collectible. Enjoy. That brings us to present day. You can buy Enjin on Binance, BitHub, or Upbit, but 58% of its trading volume comes from Binance. They launched their mainnet on July 28th, and the project has a functioning wallet, as I mentioned before. However, if you don't want to store it on the Enjin Wallet, which I suggest you do, you can always store it on any Ethereum address because, again, it's an ERC20 token. Also, in early October, they partnered with Ubisoft and created a blockchain game alliance, which is a coalition of gaming and blockchain companies committed to advocating and democratizing blockchain within the gaming industry. There's a lot of competition in the space. Projects like Game Credits, Coco's BCX, which I covered in the past, Wax, Decentraland, and Mobile Go. I'm not going to go through all of them and compare and contrast them, but if you're interested in getting involved in a crypto gaming project, I suggest you do your research because there are quite a few out there. On to their advisors. Advisors to the project are Anthony Diorio, I think is his name. He's the Ethereum co-founder, and Pat Labine, previous producer and technical director at BioWare. Enjin has also formed partnerships with Unity, PC Gamer, and NRG Esports. What's coming up that we have to look forward to? Well, there's a rumor that the Enjin Wallet is going to be what powers the Samsung S10's blockchain wallet. There's been articles all over the place about it. There's also a picture of a Samsung phone showing a wallet on the screen, which is identical and very clearly the Enjin Wallet. This would be extremely awesome, and I obviously can't see the future, and I'm not a financial advisor, so I'm not sure what's going to happen, but I can certainly hope that they end up using the Enjin Wallet in that case. Pros. Gaming is a massive industry, and I truly think that blockchain tech and gaming is one of those use cases that actually melds pretty perfectly. I mentioned in the past that I don't believe everything needs to be tokenized, but in this scenario, I think gaming would benefit from the blockchain. There's definitely some awesome use cases for the project, like allowing players to actually own their virtual goods, be able to trade them, be able to hold them in-game. Not to mention, if you want at any point, you can melt down the tokens and get the engine that's backing it. Enjin already had a massive community before creating this blockchain project, so because of that, they already have a large audience prepped and ready to be a part of the next facet of the project. There's something like 18 plus million registered users on Enjin, compared to average gamers, and it's probably mostly made up of younger people, making them much more likely to adopt new technology. And then lastly, the recent Samsung rumors, if true, would be massive for Enjin, but also massive for the space, so hopefully that ends up happening. Cons. I'd have to say probably saturation of the market. Obviously, Enjin's popularity blew up recently because of the Samsung news and the pump in the price, as I mentioned before, but there is a lot of competition out there, again, which I had stated earlier. I wasn't going to sit down and figure out all the similarities and all the differences, but I can tell you that people having too many options is never a good thing, and there are a lot of options right now as far as blockchain-based gaming platforms go. My final thoughts are, I love to game. I've always been hugely into video games. I spent the last few weeks being wrapped up in Zelda Breath of the Wild, so I understand how much money and how large of a community is behind video games. I also really do think that blockchain technology is an awesome way to evolve conventional gaming. And I think that the project is great. I love the wallet. I love the collectibles concept. And I love the fact that gamers can own their own items. My only real concern is that the project really needs to set themselves apart from the rest of the gaming projects. But, I guess only time will tell. That's it for me today in today's review. Don't forget to hit that like button if you haven't, or subscribe if you haven't yet either. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all soon. Hey, you. Did you like this review? Want to see content that's similar to this? Well, good news. Pop on over to my playlist and check out all types of videos. I'm sure you'll find something there to keep you entertained. And as usual, thanks for watching the channel.